Hello, good morning, everyone. We're about to get started. So, most of us here have already taken their seat. If you haven't, please come forward. We're going to start with a couple of songs to open up our service this morning and ask everyone to stand up and sing along together with our Nova band.
The Lord to carry his word till the world proclaims him ruler of all. Every soldier must go forward to fight, offer God new life and desire, uniting both the body and soul. We shall be the soldiers who can fulfill everything for God by doing his will. Join the fight for the Lord, sacrificing all that you have. Join the fight with the word, we will see victory. Come unite the world, you soldiers of light, called to be the chosen people of God, till the world returns all glory above. Every soldier must go forward to march, offer God the wealth you possess. From beginning to end, we shall be the soldiers who can fulfill heavenly desire by doing his will. Join the fight for the Lord, sacrificing all that you have. Join the fight with the world, we will see victory. Come unite the world, you soldiers of light, trusted by the Lord as worthy in heart, till the world is bright with heavenly joy. Every soldier must go forward to win. Offer God the love in your heart, uniting on the left and the right. We shall be the soldiers who can fulfill God's eternal joy by doing his will. Join the fight for the Lord, sacrificing all that you have. Join the fight with the world, we will see victory. Come unite the world, you soldiers of life, ever to obey our Father's command, till the world returns with heavenly love. Every soldier must go forward to life, offer the life for your love, uniting both the young and the old. We shall be the soldiers who can fulfill one united world by doing his will. Join the fight for the Lord, sacrificing all that you have. Join the fight with the world, we will see victory. Thank you for singing along. Our next song is As the Deer. As the deer panteth for the water, so my soul longeth after thee. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. Oh, you alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You
Thank you so much for singing, everyone. Let's give a big hand to our Nova band led by Yasuna Takashima. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for singing together beautifully. Welcome to the Capital Family Church Nova Center here in Manassas, Virginia. We're so happy that you're here with us today. And we are going to start our service by greeting everybody who's here, as we usually do every week. So let's say hello to those joining us online. We have the camera there. It was a live stream. So say hello wherever you're joining from. Glad you're joining us. And now we can say hello to everybody who's here in the room. Give them a hug. Say hello. How have you been? And we'll meet back in a few minutes.
Okay, if everyone can gather into seats, the band will be performing a performance song very soon. It's great to see that everyone is talking and mingling, but we'll have to gather back in our seats now. So this song is a very popular Christian song called Oceans by Hillsong United. I think many people have heard of this song before, so I hope that you feel the spirit, and feel free to sing along if you know it and feel the spirit. So I hope you enjoy. This is Oceans by Hillsong. You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in the oceans deep, my faith will stand. Will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will your embrace, for I am yours and you are mine. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you've never failed. Start now. Rise, my soul rest in your embrace. When I am yours and you are mine. Oh, you are mine. Lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Jesus, my God, I will call upon your name. Keep my eyes above the waves. My soul will rest in your embrace. I am yours, and you are mine.
Thank you. Thank you so much for a beautiful song. Let's give another hand to the band. Thank you. Yeah, that's actually my favorite song, so definitely enjoyed hearing it here today. I find it such a peaceful song, right? So calming. Just thinking about the water, you automatically, I think about calm, right? And yeah, thinking about God's peace and God's love. So yeah, it's a beautiful song to start off our service today. Thank you. At this time, we're going to invite our kids to join the Sunday school. So Tsuru is leading it today, and we'll be taking the kids upstairs. So please, you could go ahead and follow her. We'll see you guys later. Unless you're old enough and you want to stick around for the main service, that's cool. Up to you. So... Okay, before I begin with my main message, I'm going to offer an opening prayer. So if you please join with me in prayer. Our most beloved Heavenly Parent, true parents of heaven, earth, and all humankind, we are so grateful to you, Heavenly Parent, for your love and your guidance and how much you can give to us each and every day, Heavenly Parent. And we want to give so much back to you because you have given everything to us. We know that this whole universe is built on relationship, on give and receiving, and on being able to experience love with one another. And we pray, Heavenly Parent, that in this space here today, we can feel that love, that this is a warm and a welcoming space for everybody, Heavenly Parent. And we pray that whatever message will be spoken today, that you can speak through me and through other speakers today, and that everybody here can be inspired and moved by you and by our true parents, because without you, none of us would be here. We're grateful to our true parents, and we offer our sincere prayer to our true mother, who is still in hospital receiving treatment, and we continue to pray for her recovery and her well-being. And we pray for our true Father in the spirit world, who is 100% united with her and watching over everything that's going on. And we can feel His Spirit and presence with us. And pray for all of our blessed families here in Northern Virginia, everybody tuning in online and here with us in this room today. I pray this and attend to Holy Mother Han with gratitude in my name, Natasha Philips, of the Philips Blessed Center family. Adieu. Okay, so good morning, everybody, again. And I wanted to address something today that maybe don't talk often about at church. You may think this is more of a secular topic. What does it have to do with faith? But I think it has a lot to do with faith and spirituality as well. And this is talking about mental health, right? Because that affects everybody's life. And, true parents may not have used the words mental health directly, right? But we know that, they're concerned about mind and body and whole person health, right? So that is incorporated in that. And it's in the Bible as well, So people undergoing suffering for various reasons has been around for, a long, long time, right? Ever since the beginning and the fall of Adam and Eve, really. We've had physical ailments, but also mental ailments and spiritual ones as well. And so today, being the last day in May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, if you did not know, I wanted to address this topic. Because there's, so many things you can talk about. I'm not going to go into mental illnesses in depth. I'm not qualified. I'm not a psychologist or anything like that. But I found something that really resonated with me, and those were the 5 C's of mental health, developed in the early 2000s. There are 2 of them, if you look this up. There's, with some different words. Some are specifically for youth, and they include some words like character is one of the C's. But the one that I chose for today, I think, applies more broadly to everybody. Okay, so let's get into it. Yeah. All right, so what is mental health, right? So just first, a brief definition. I got this from the CDC website. I think this might actually be the World Health Organization definition. Mental health is a state of well-being that enables us to cope with the stresses of life, realize our abilities, learn well and work well, and contribute to our community. Okay, so when we think about health, right, first maybe the thought that comes to mind is our physical body, right, because if we're physically not well, we may not be able to do everything we want to do, right? But if you're mentally and emotionally not feeling well either, you can also, not have, for example, the strength to get out of bed in the morning, right, or the motivation to do anything. So when I say things like, learning, being a contributing member of society, being able to cope with stress in life, right? So feeling too overwhelmed by things you have to deal with, right? That can lead you to push things away. And, there's different ways people cope with things. Some are healthy and some are unhealthy, right? So, yeah, when you think about someone's mental well-being, how well are they able to cope with these different challenges? So here's a couple of quotes from our founders. I just, was trying to find things that could relate to mental well-being, and I was thinking, they talk a lot about mind and body, right, and mind and body unity, and I feel like that relates to this topic. So here's a quote from the Mother of Peace book, the memoir written by our true mother. Health does not simply mean having a sturdy body. An original human being has mind and body united in harmony, right? So this is part of a section where she's talking about this medical center that exists in Champyong, which they created for state-of-the-art medical care, right? And of course, it provides physical care, right, for physical ailments. But, it's also located in this beautiful spiritual environment of Champyong, right? And it's there for a reason. There's a reason it's not just in Seoul. And that's because the spiritual and emotional and mental, is part of the overall health, right, and well-being. And so True Mother is addressing that here. And here's a quote from True Father from 1992. Human beings were originally created to live with God's true love within their minds and bodies, and to resonate with His love directly. So what I understood by that is to mean that, if we are completely attuned with God, our Creator, right, then our mind is clear, and it will not be, will not waver or lose focus or, have struggles, right, if we're 100% united with God, right, and that was the ideal, right, that God envisioned for human beings, and then, that ideal was lost with the fall, right? So I think that, we can take back the source of all the mental challenges we have in our world to that time, that point in time, right? And if we can overcome and restore the world, then I think in a perfect ideal world we won't have mental illnesses anymore, right? That's what I believe. I don't know, you can have your own thoughts or discussions about this. But yeah, so I think if we have our mind and our body totally united on God. And I wanted to emphasize here as well, it did not say anything about your willpower, that, being mentally healthy does not mean that you have a strong enough mind, quote unquote, or that you, that you're not weak, right? It does not mean that it's a sign of weakness. And I wanted to make that very clear, that, it's not just your willpower alone that can get you through mental challenges, right? Yes, we need God. We need to come closer to God. We need our Creator. And we also need support. We need to seek, sometimes professional guidance. We need to seek support from our loved ones, right? It takes a lot of work, and it's not something to feel guilty about or ashamed about, and too often it's stigmatized and people don't want to talk about any mental health challenges that they deal with, right? But I think it's just a part of life, and if we can accept it, and be more open about it, then we can support each other in a better way, right? Because that's the environment I want to have here, is that we're all, embracing and loving each other and having compassion for each other, not judging, right? So we don't want to label people in certain ways, right? Okay. So thinking of all of that, I wanted to just bring up 5 different ways that we can improve our mental well-being or nurture it in a way, right? What are some things that we can all do? Whether you know somebody who's personally struggling with any mental challenges, whether it be depression or anxiety, eating disorder, there's so many things, right? But yeah, you have dealt with some of this yourself, right? Or you know somebody who has, or you're thinking, oh, well, that's not my problem. I'm doing pretty well. I don't have any issues at the moment. Lucky for you. You never know what happens at some point in your life, though, right? It's always ups and downs. But yeah, even if you think you're doing pretty well, you can still do some of the things that are suggested here to just, maintain your general mental health, right? So connection is the first C. And I immediately thought of this quote from the 17th century writer, John Donne. You may be familiar with this line, "No man is an island," right? It comes from a passage in a book, or a poem that's in that book. And the first line goes, "No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main." And then it continues to say that, even if one person dies, you should be affected by that, right? Because we are all connected, right? So just thinking about how connection exists between people. We are created to have relationships with others, right? God created us in relationships. You think about the 4-position foundation, right, that we have with, husband and wife and children, or, with other relationships that we have, right, with, a boss and an employee in the company, like any kind of relationship, right, whether in the family or outside the family. We don't exist in isolation. And if somebody isolates themselves completely from the rest of the world, people want to shut themselves in, they've had enough of the world, they lose connections, they cut off contact with people, that is a way to worsen, or I would say, it doesn't help your mental health, right, if you do that. I want to say, of course, the kind of connections you have matters. That's why I put in positive connections, right? You don't want toxic relationships in your life. You don't want connections to people that bring you down, that judge you, that are always negative to you, right? You want to seek out positive connections in your life, and also be the positive connection to others, right? It always starts with you, with yourself. How can I be a positive connection for people in my family, in my workplace, in my church community, right? What can I do to contribute to this positive connection? And, this can provide emotional support to people that when they need it, and also combat feelings of loneliness, right? A lot of people deal and struggle with issues of loneliness at some point in their lives. And prioritizing the quality of your connection is also important over the quantity. You can have 20 different friends, casual friends, but still feel lonely because you don't have that one close friend who you really feel connected to, that you can talk to and share heart to heart with, right? So I personally think that having just one friend, who you can really share with and talk to is more valuable. So connection, first C. Our second C is compassion, right? To have compassion for others and for yourself, equally important, right? Compassion for others creates a more supportive environment, right, for everybody. It strengthens your social bonds with each other, right? If you seek to understand, right, you may not have gone through the exact same thing that somebody else goes through, but if they're sharing with you and they're telling you about what they're going through, try to be understanding and listening, not to criticize them. And of course, I think of our beloved True Mother as a prime example of this. She talks about compassion a lot, if you listen to her speeches. And she has this motherly heart, right? I feel like the motherly heart is a compassionate heart. It's just one quote from her memoir. As the mother of one family under God, I feel the pain of each person as my own pain, right? So having that level of empathy and compassion for others, And then practicing that with yourself. I'll be honest, that's a struggle for myself. I can often find it more easily to have compassion with others than with myself. I'm my own worst critic. And, so we need to give ourselves grace, right? Treat ourselves with kindness, right? Treat ourselves with compassion. And that, if we can practice that, that will help improve our mental well-being. All right, so that was the second C, compassion. The third C, coping. Okay, to cope with things means how you deal with them, right? So this can be strategies that you use, skills that you have that you've developed over time to navigate stress and challenges that you deal with, right? I think about my toddler, he doesn't have many coping skills yet, right? He has a lot of tantrums, and he doesn't know how to deal with those emotions, right? He just screams and yells and, runs to me or my husband, right? So his strategy right now is just get help from mom or dad, right? But over time, as he grows up, I hope that he will develop some skills to better deal with his emotions, to be able to calm himself down through, deep breathing, meditating, right? So there's, that's one of the things I put up there as practicing mindfulness. So like being present in the moment, being aware of what you're feeling, sitting with those emotions, meditating to calm yourself. It could be through prayer as well, journaling, journaling out your feelings. And it can also be going to seek outside yourself through social support. Because maybe you think, writing down my feelings is not really for me. I don't know what to say. But I find it easy to talk to somebody else. I can talk to my best friend. I can talk to my spouse or to my parents, whoever it is. You find someone trusted that you can talk to, right? So you can seek social support. Another coping strategy is to engage in physical activities, right? If you feel stressed out, there are physical changes happening in your body. You know this, right? You have like these stress hormones, right? This cortisol building up, and you need to release that. So if you do something physical, like go for a run or work out at the gym, or do something fun like dancing, that's all physical movement, right? A sport that you enjoy, whatever it may be, that can be something that releases the stress and gives you endorphins and good hormones that will lift up your mood. I know for myself, just going outside for a walk can already help me calm down after I'm very stressed out. So you find whatever works for you, right? So I'm sure you can think of many other examples, of your own coping strategies. Now, there's other ways that people cope which are not healthy, right? That's where people start to become addicted to substances, for example, right? Or pornography, or any kind of escape route that they choose. It could even be a social media addiction. I did have a struggle for a while where I would use way too much social media, like just scrolling, doom scrolling as they call it, to distract myself, from anyday problems. And that was not a healthy coping strategy. That was just me trying to escape for a little while before I come back to my own life, right? And so you have to, I had to reflect and think about what are some healthier strategies I could replace that habit with, right? So I made some resolutions this year to work on, some different strategies I can use. Okay, so that was C number 3. Number 4 is community, right? So community, for example, what we have here, right? It can provide valuable mental health benefits. It can give you a sense of purpose, by having, common goals, things that we share together, and also gives you a feeling of belonging, a sense of belonging, right, when you're part of a community. And there's many different kinds of community you can join. We're thinking beyond just the family. Of course, you're a part of a family unit, right? But beyond that, being a part of a religious community, right? There was a study that was published just earlier this month, actually, by the Wheatley Institute from Brigham Young University, and you can look it up if you're interested. But yeah, they studied thousands of other studies. They looked through a lot of research of religious or faith involvement and mental health. And after looking at all of those, they found that 9 times out of 10, it was a positive relationship. There were also some negative correlations, right, where it had negative impact, but 9 times out of 10, the religious involvement benefited them. So some of the ways that it benefited was lower suicide risk, better coping with stress, reduced substance abuse and addiction, and higher levels of hope, meaning, and life satisfaction, right? So yeah, if the church community is not giving us hope and meaning, life satisfaction, those things, then we should be reflecting seriously, about ourselves, right? Why are we not doing that? Another kind of community could be a hobby group, right? I don't know a better word for this, but yeah, if you join a club of some kind, right? A book club. My father-in-law is involved in several book clubs, and this keeps him very, engaged, and it's mostly online, right? And in this modern age of technology, that's totally fine. There's many ways you can be part of community. It doesn't have to be in person. It can be online too. But yeah, you find a common interest, and then based on that interest, you can join this community. Or you can volunteer in a cause that you support. Could be an environmental cause, or it could be, supporting animals, or children's cancer, or whatever you want to be involved in, right? If you participate in some volunteering, that can be also beneficial to your mental health. All right. And the final C is care. Okay, so there's many different ways we can approach this, but basically it's talking about taking care of yourself, right? So you think about taking care of your physical well-being, because that is related to the mental well-being, of course. If you don't get enough sleep, ask any parent of newborns, your mental health suffers. It's just a fact. It's a challenging stage of life to be in. It's only for a short time, but yeah, when you're in that phase, it's hard to feel fully mentally there and present when you can't get enough sleep, right? Also, related to that, being able to feed yourself well, right? If you can't get adequate nutrition, if you can't take care of that basic need, then it's hard to be mentally healthy as well. And exercise, right? We already mentioned exercise as an example of helping you mentally as well, right? Because it can help relieve your stress and just in general keep your body healthier, right? And seeking professional health, that if you feel that you can't manage on your own, it feels too overwhelming for you, then there is no shame in asking for a professional. And maybe the first therapist you talk to doesn't work, you might have to try a second or a third one, until you find somebody that really resonates with you and that you can get the help that you need. They usually work on helping you find better skills and strategies for coping, right? You could join a support group, Sometimes members have created their own support groups. I know within church communities we have sometimes prayer groups that happen, right? Or we have an idea floating around to start a group for widows and widowers, to support each other. So like whatever kind of support you need, right, you can create or find a local support group to join. And one more example, since I wanted to bring something from the Bible in here today, this is the idea of taking a break, and to take care of yourself. In the story of Elijah in 1 Kings 19, is that, he was fighting for God and trying his best to convince the people, but the king and queen at that time in Israel were turned away from God, especially the queen Jezebel. You may remember her name. She's very famous, right? And, he was threatened with his life, right? And after he was fighting all of those Baal prophets, those, prophets who were against God, and trying to show who the one true God is, they still didn't believe in him, and they were, saying, we're going to kill you. So he ran away, and he told God, I have enough. He ran to the desert, and he basically escaped, and in this chapter, he's just saying, God, please let me be. I just want to die. He just was giving up at this point, right? But what happened? He rested. He took a nap, and then an angel came and brought him food and water, right? And then the next day as well. And then God spoke to him to encourage him, right? So even God, was there, aware of his struggles and trying to offer support and comfort, right? First make sure that he's resting well, he's eating well, drinking well, right? And then being there as a listening ear, right? Because he's like, I know this is hard. I mean, if anybody can understand rejection, it's God, right? But he was still there for Elijah, right? That is just one story, but you can find more examples in the Bible if you are interested to look for yourself. Okay, so the final point I wanted to leave you with, after looking at these 5 C's, is to remember our Heavenly Parent's heart. And as we know that, true parents are the ones who really showed us how deep our Heavenly Parent's heart is, right? Because before that, we thought of, God as this distant figure above. He doesn't need us, really. He's got everything he wants. He's all-powerful, almighty. But really, God can experience the deepest sorrow, right? And he can experience just what we're experiencing. So this quote from 1960 tells us that. To sorrowful people, he comes with a heart of sorrow. To suffering people, he comes with a heart of suffering. And to people feeling wronged, he comes with a heart of indignation, right? God will meet you where you're at, and he can feel that heart that you have. And yet, how much have you empathized with the heart and circumstances of God? He comes into our life, empathizing with our situation. Moreover, he comes to us with a heart that affirms, although you betrayed me, I am still your father and your mother, right? And because he has such a heart, he has been reaching out to us for 6,000 years. Wow. Yeah, this is an incredible heart of our Heavenly Parent, right? And as we think about our own mental well-being, let's not forget God's mental well-being too, right? Because we are created in the image of God. I think that God must go through mental struggles too, right? So think about how we can comfort God, and we can be a comfort and show our love to our Heavenly Parent. Okay, so that was it for my talk today. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much. So I hope that today you'll think about this for a bit. I'm not going to take the time for a discussion right now, sorry, because we still have somebody else who's I'm inviting to speak. But you can think about it to yourself, and if you wanted to talk further with me later, you're welcome to do that. But after my message today, I wanted to welcome another special guest. Actually, originally I was thinking 2, but we will hear from one couple next week, all right? Because, if you're not aware, we've had 2 couples who were traveling, both similar timeline, to Korea. They both left in February from our community, and were gone for a while. In the Wilsons' case, Theo came back after a month, but Irina and her daughter were gone for 3 months, right, and recently came back. And then James and Chrysanta Jenkins and their son Mikey, they were also gone for a similar time period. We will hear from Irina next week. And so for today, we're going to welcome up James and Chrysanta, or you'll come up alone, I don't know, as you like, to share for a few minutes with us about their experience. They were back in Champyeong, I believe, during their most recent trip. Okay. All right, so while we wait for them to come up, I'm sorry, but at this time, for the online viewers, we're going to pause the recording for this portion. We're muting it. Okay. just want to put up the offering. Yes, thank you. So after everything that we've heard and absorbed today, take a moment of quiet reflection. And if you would like to make an offering for our ministry to support Nova Community or Greater Providence, please, you can tithe online or with the offering baskets that are going to be passed around. Thank you. We'll offer a prayer for all the offering. Please join me in prayer. Our most beloved Heavenly Parent, true parents of heaven, earth, humankind, we're offering humbly to you with all of our hearts, whatever we can give, whether it's giving online or right here in these offering baskets. We want to give it all to you, Heavenly Parent, that it may be used for your will and your providence, and to help bring about the Chanilguk right here in Virginia. I pray this and attends to Holy Mother Han with gratitude in my name, Natasha Philips, a blessed and family. Aju. Thank you so much, everybody. Okay, and for our announcements, just a couple of ones. First, after the service, right, of course, we got a special meeting. So I'm glad so many people showed up today. We're going to be setting up the tables, right? Everybody can grab some food. Okay, and then I'll give you a few minutes and we can get started. So, yeah, I'll explain how it works, but we don't need everybody to get up from their seats. So you can stay seated at your tables and enjoy the food. So, upcoming events. June 20th, we have our Thai culture event. And on June 27, we have Interfaith Prayer Brunch. So both of those, the flyers are available on the email if anybody needs it to help, distribute or invite people. Please come and join these two events that we have coming up in June. Yeah. And thank you. This again, just a reminder, Family Camp, Camp Shahakwa. I will be going, so I will not be here that weekend. End of July. It's a family camp that's, welcomes people of all ages to come. So, in Pennsylvania, yeah. Okay, that was something I put in the newsletter just this week, just to make people aware. There is the missions, Next Gen Mission, that's accepting applications right now. It's the former GPA, right? So it's a program to help young people specifically find their faith and, character development. So you can apply on nextgenmission.us. Okay, yeah. I guess we put that up. Thank you, Richard. This is for those who want to join online, on Zoom. Maybe a few minutes later than 12:45, we will get started. So thank you, everybody. Now we will have our closing song. We invite our Nova band. Let's give them a hand. And we'll, have a closing prayer, and then we'll start lunch.
Thank you. If everyone can please stand up and join us for our last song, we'll be singing We Are the World. There comes a time and the truth. Oh, Lord, we need. Who are we? We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our lives. It's true, make a better day. Just you and so they know that someone cares, and their lives will be stronger and free, as God has shown us by turning stone to bread. So we all must lend a helping hand. Who are we? We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our lives. It's true, make a better day, just you and me. When you're down and out and there seems no hope at all, if you just believe, there's no way we can fall. Let's realize that change can only come when we stand together as one. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice you're making. We're saving our lives. It's true, make a better day, just you and me. We are the world. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice you're making. We're saving our lives. It's true, make a better day, just you and me. It's true. It's true, make a better day, just you and me. Thank you. Please join me in a closing prayer. Our dearest beloved Heavenly Parents, dear parents, we thank you for this lovely Sunday that we're gathered together. It's the last Sunday of May, a month for families, a month for mental health, and for many things to celebrate. And I pray at this time that we can come together as a family and that we can take care of one another and look out for each other. And we want to pray for everyone's health and well-being, especially to our Holy Mother Han, who's in the hospital right now. So we pray for her well-being, that she's taken care of, and that we know that heaven is on her side. So we pray that we can help her as we can with our prayers and with our love. And I pray that for our community to grow and to come together and to unite. And we want to thank also the people preparing lunch today, and that we can join in fellowship and love. So I hope you can join us in this time, Heavenly Parents, with us at this time. We thank you so much again, Heavenly Parents, dear parents. I pray in attendance to our Holy Mother Han with gratitude in my name. Yes, Takashima, daughter of Foster Family. Amen. Aju.
Thank you so much. And before we get lunch, sorry, there's a couple of people we wanted to introduce that, yes, thank you for reminding me, Undi, who are here for the first time. So bring the microphone to the back over here. Would you like to say your name, where you're from?
Hi, everyone. My name is Nori. I'm originally from New Jersey, but I moved here a couple months ago, opened up a shop with my friend. We went to pastry school together. So we have a bakery open about 10, 15 minutes from here in Bristow. So it's called Priory of Indulgence. Yeah. It's in Bristow. It's on Carnotch. Yeah. I know, what's it? Yoshi and Tsuru already came by. If y'all want to come by sometime, we're more than welcome to. Yeah. Nice to meet y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Yeah, we love pastry, so definitely come visit you. And we also have a family here who used to live in Virginia a long time ago, as I understand it. Would you like to introduce yourself or reintroduce?
My name is Namja. Mm. Yeah, we blessed since 2000, and we live in America almost 10 years. And our kids, two of them student, going to University of Virginia and Virginia Tech, and she is the youngest one. We traveled many states in America and coming back. So nice to meet you all.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm Ondra. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my daughter's name is Ariana.
Thank you. Welcome. We're so happy to have you here. Yes, thank you. Okay, great. So yeah, please take time to talk to them, get to know them, or maybe you remember them from years ago. Yeah, now we're going to have lunch together. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
to sit for now? Okay. All right, so I hope most people have gotten their food. Yes? All right. You can eat for a few more minutes, but I'm just going to explain a little bit about what I'm thinking to do. So you can just listen as you're eating. Okay, so thank you. My assistant pastor will be my assistant today, Tsurue. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was thinking to myself, I've been pastor here for almost 2 years now. It's been like 2 years this May since we started, the NOVA Center, right? And we started off as an offshoot of Capital Family Church, right? So not really being like our separate own identity, but rather being under the Capital Family Church. And I've been feeling, the need to have our own more distinct identity, as Northern Virginia community specifically, because truthfully, we do sometimes do things together, but we also have our own separate services and do a lot of events separately too. So I'm not saying that we're completely separating, but we want to have more of our own identity, right? And I thought a great way to start that is by having a vision and a mission that is all our own. And of course, it is rooted in our, common faith and traditions of our Heavenly Parent, our true parents, but also very specifically, what do we want to achieve in our community? Where do we see our future, right? Because when you think of a vision, you're thinking, where do we see ourselves in 5 years, in 10 years, or even beyond that? What kind of community do we want to build here together, right? And I would love to get everybody's input, so everybody who is able to stay today, I'm trying to keep it within 45 minutes, no longer than that. So if you have, you see pens and notepads here on your tables. Okay, so the idea behind this is I would like to give everybody the chance to write down their ideas, right? Because when you give people the microphone one by one, there may not be enough time for everyone to share. So this way, you can all write down some ideas, and we will collect everything and put it up here on the board. And then we will see, for example, let's say 5 people wrote down that, their vision is to see a lot of young families come to the service. I don't know, it's that seems to be an important one, right? Or maybe 10 people wrote down, we want to have pizza 5 times a month. It's just, you can have some crazy ideas, but also I hope we'll have some, spiritually grounded ideas too, right? Thinking about what kind of education we want to offer. So I put down some questions for you to think about, who are we serving? Are we serving all of Virginia, just Loudoun County, Fairfax County, Prince William County? We could define. Or there's also people who connect to Northern Virginia who watch from further away, but they feel connected to our community, right? So we include everybody who wants to be part of it. And what is the purpose that we're serving as a community? Thinking about that, what is God's purpose for this church center, right? What do you think? It's the reason that we're here, and how can we have an impact in our local area, right? In Manassas and in Northern Virginia itself. So just thinking about these ideas to help us craft our vision statement. And so after we've written, take your time to eat, take some time to write down your thoughts. You can try to answer specifically these questions or anything that comes to mind when you think, what is the big vision that I have for this community? And we'll collect them. Tsurue is going to help me collect all of the notes, and then we will organize them. So we'll see which ones are in common, and we'll group them together. And we will use these notes. I'm going to read aloud what the results are, and we will then use these notes to craft a couple of sample statements. We're not going to take the time to do it here because I think it'll take too long, but we're going to use the CAT team. I haven't told them all yet, but I hope that's okay, to use the words to craft out the statement, because it should be single statement, and then we'll bring them back to the community, and then everybody can vote and say, okay, we like this statement best, or we like that statement best. Does that sound okay to everybody? We can use AI to help craft the statement, sure. As a writer myself, I'm very against it personally, but that's okay, you know. Yes, AI can be helpful at times. Okay, so yeah, I'll let you get back to your meal and then take time to think about and write down your ideas. Thank you. Yeah, everybody's welcome to write. Even if you're a little kid, you can ask your parents to help you write your ideas down, okay? Okay. If you're joining us online, please look at the questions and write down your ideas on the Zoom chat so that we can add those in for you, okay? Thank you. Okay, I see we've already got quite a few ideas up here. Thank you. I'm going to just read out some of them, and maybe, as we read this, something else will come to your mind that you haven't thought of yet. So somebody here wrote down, sharing God's love with one another is our purpose. Building a community that creates an open and lovely place. All feel free and happy here. Right, so this is sharing, like, how do you want to feel when you come to this place, right? That's great. Create a community that feels like an extended family under God, who wants to support each other and has a positive impact in Northern Virginia beyond just our church. Okay, so just going a little bit also into this third question, who do we serve, right? It's not just our blessed families. We want to move beyond our church, right? Serving greater Northern Virginia. What community we want to build? Many young families growing old together and attracting more young people for that. Stay young together forever, sure. Fair enough. Thank you, Uncle Roland. Cake forever from Clark. I think this means cake every Sunday, yes. And a bouncy house, all right? This is some of the kids' wishes. I'm not sure why for fair type events, like Family Day. Okay, is this youth events? Is that what it means? Family Day. Bigger place, more families coming at least once a month. Okay, right. So we are looking into getting a different place next year. So yeah, you want a bigger place where we can have more families gather. Family Day events, great. Here's someone answering, who do we serve? The future generation, our elders, and those we may not yet know, right? People that we may suddenly connect to. Like when James was sharing, right, you just met this brother, it seemed you were destined to meet and become friends, right? You never know who's going to step off the bus, who you're going to meet any given day, right? Okay. I see. Someone being very practical about where we should be. I assume two things, Woodbridge or this, and the cheapest, which is a warehouse. Okay. So, which one is yours, honey? The bouncy house one? Is that here? Yeah. And we have, answers to all three questions. To give God and we serve God. Okay. And here we go. We bring joy, love, and support to God and each other, as well as our neighbors. And the community we want to build is a lasting love and legacy community. Okay. And our purpose, or who we serve, is our heavenly parent and all people. All right, everybody. Prepare the children. And suggest uniting the Ilshim or initiating the Ilshim program. Okay. Yeah. So initiating specific programs will not be part of our vision statement per se, but it can be under that, right? As practical things we want to do to complement our vision. We should support the Northern Virginia UC community and those who are part of it who still feel connected. Be nice if we could also do some community service efforts. Okay. I'll put this up here. Serve each other. That's our purpose, is to serve. And the kind of community you want to build is sustainable, fruitful, a place where people feel Heavenly Parents' love. All right. And who we serve is each generation, right? Every generation of members, the local community, and Heavenly Parent and true parents. Okay. This one down here. What's our purpose is finding Heavenly Parents' love from life moments by practicing true parents' teaching. Okay. The kind of community we want to build is families feeling comfortable to share their journey, and church provide the opportunity, facilitate time and space and place for people to share their journey. Okay. And we serve blessed families and local friends. Okay. Someone else here said we serve everyone. We share love, and 3 generations support each other, and I love to have a church. Well, that's great. I'm glad you love to have a church. You're in the right place. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of common theme around love, right? Sharing God's love, seeing God as our purpose, and having an environment of love and service, and also joy, right? Those are some words that have come up. Okay, and if we want to think about who we're serving, we also have, some people talking about serving Heavenly Parent, True Parents. Some are talking about our blessed members, and some are very broadly saying everybody. We're here for everyone. Okay, so we have to come to some kind of agreement on this, right? Who do we share our love with? If we want a bigger place, right? What is our vision in 5 or 10 years? Like, how big do we want our community to grow? And what kind of, what people do we want to invite to come here and be a part of it, right? Okay. I wanted to give a chance for people to share any ideas that they had for a few minutes. If anybody wants to expand on something that they wrote, just a few minutes, okay? Oh, yes, go ahead, Ryden. Please share with us.
I think he wants the answers.
No. What is our purpose our purpose is to give God joy. What kind of community we want to build in 5 years, 10 years? A better place. Who do we serve? God.
How do you do all those things? Do you have any expansion on that?
No.
An example of service.
Thank you, Ryden. Okay, thank you, Ryden. All right, we serve God. Yes. Anybody else want to share their thoughts? Oh, yes, go ahead.
Want me to use the mic?
Go ahead.
It occurred to me, I'm Brunchweiler, by the way, Alexandria. I'm a longtime member myself. You know me a little bit, but that's a question that I have. I don't know everyone regularly. So I thought when we were in Michigan, David Casbo and others, we created a directory. I thought, well, then I would know, like, I forget everyone's name. Maybe I could help with that. It was the current information. It's somewhat sensitive, right? Not everyone wants to share that. But that way we could find out who is who and whom do we serve, indirect pronoun, whom do we serve. So I thought maybe I could help, or someone could help do that. So I know who lives where, when, who are their children, what blessing. In the Michigan directory, it used to show the age of the children and who was blessed. So as a community, you know who is who. Also, as I was talking to Pastor Natasha, I wanted to take a moment to thank her and all the staff also that are every week, every month, every day organizing what we do have. So we have very wonderful, like your presentation today about mental health was super excellent. I worked in the U.S. government, paramilitary, Homeland Security, and I had many cases where people took their own life. I know at least 4 people who took their own lives. And they were high-ranking officers, so we never know. So all of this kind of communication is very valuable. So my idea was also outreach to those who consider themselves disenfranchised, or community members that say, oh, God is love, but I don't want nothing to do with that church. So I thought to myself, well, what does that mean? I mean, in line with our open-minded approach. And then there's individual faith. So I'm taking the mic a little bit longer, but my idea that I had shared with Natasha was an outreach, maybe even a meeting or a symposium, whatever, where we could share ideas about what is faith, what is God, what is true parents, what are the different movements within, what are the offshoots, who is who is whom is who, green eggs and ham.
And invite
Yeah.
everybody who's distant to come.
Yeah, right. So the directory, however, was very helpful because I didn't know everybody in Michigan, even though I was there many years. And then I said, okay, and I thought, oh yeah, they live there. They live in Flushing. They live in Birmingham, and I know the family. But you have to be careful with it so that it doesn't expose anyone to what they don't want. So you need permission from that.
Right, right. Okay, great. Thank you. Yes, so to have outreach and to have a directory. Great.
Yeah, we had the directory before. It was put on by Judy Lejeune and Jim Boothby. I've been talking to Jim Boothby over and over and over about this. He doesn't seem to have enough time. If I do it, I'm not going to have enough time to do all of it myself. I could use some help in doing it. Okay? All right.
To get your help on that. Thank you. Okay. What about some of our younger members? Yoshi, what do you think? What should be our purpose and our focus in our community?
I got put on the spotlight really quick. I didn't really think too deeply on this. What is our purpose? Our purpose, I think right now, is to stick together as a community, keep active communication with each other, like you said in your sermon. I believe that the purpose of church is to renew our faith every week so that we can have something to look forward to throughout this week and think what we need to do for that week. So that's why these sermons in churches are very important. But in addition to that, I think we need somewhere for I don't know, it's just me and my family. We're the only young people, I guess, me, Tsuru, and Yatchan, in our age. So what would be nice is to have more young people. And the only way to do that is through witnessing. Personally, I don't have time for that. But I feel like when we had that witnessing efforts that we did as community, I know everyone's busy. So that's understandable. But I don't know, that time where I just keep remembering about CARP and people wanting to witness, talk to young people, get people engaged and get people inspired. Just comes to mind. Anyways, I feel like our purpose is to be a community, try to do something about a community, whether it's just trying to reach out to people or trying to invite new members. And yeah. So that's the kind of community I want in 5 to 10 years. Just a bigger community where we feel like it's family. Right now, it's not bad. I like it. Everyone's very friendly, very familial. But if we can have something, that we could see, like a nice big property for ourselves, and we come to church and we see a lot of energy and a lot of young people, first and second generation new members, that would be awesome. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Oh, that was really great, actually, for not thinking about it too long. And I think it's important for us to dream big, right, and have a big vision. Yes, we can see reality. Like, we don't have so many people right now, right? Especially we don't have so many young people or single young adults, for example. But yeah, it's possible. Anything is possible, right? We can grow. What about over here? Anybody wants to share? Dr. Shimio, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, today we were able to see, at least I was able to see a couple of new faces, pretty new. I mean, I have never seen them before. But that gave me inspiration. And so if we witness to new people, bringing them to our service, we get inspired, and good kind of energization will naturally take place. So we have to think about how important that point is. If of course, we all love one another, but every Sunday if we see same faces all the time, which is of course good, but at the same time, something new, will give us inspiration. So that's my insight this morning.
Thank you. Right. Can I just pick on people? Can I ask you, Rioni?
Yeah, out of all the things, the thing that always comes to mind, like you touched on is the young families. At least that's top of mind right now, even for the next 5 years. Maybe I'm speaking on their behalf, but I feel like a lot of them maybe wish they could be here, but the current situation now with many of them is they're what we call the sandwich generation. So we have really young ones, but then they also are caring for their parents. So that takes a lot of time and energy. So I don't think all of it is because, oh, they just don't want to come. It's just life circumstances. So yeah, maybe doing more like, and we are already doing it, these, events where like the picnics, and we try the young family, small gatherings, things like that. And Nadalia and I will probably do more during the summer as we host them at our home. So yeah, I don't know. I think if we keep that up, and then to Yoshi's point, I do think about a lot of the young people that not necessarily we lost, but also like they've grown up. Like, I think back from Fairfax, they were in high school or junior high, and now they're college, growing up older, and then for whatever reason they're not here. So yeah, maybe even like Richard said, having that directory and all that data, I think can maybe enable us to try and reach out to those people in some way again. So yeah, top of mind is like young families, serving those who we have now, and making sure we're consistently bringing them back and giving them the opportunity. Trying to attract back those who are not around and for some reason are feeling blocked coming. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like working on a directory would give us a purpose to like contact people and say, hey, we're making this directory. Can we put you in there? That would be like a way also to reach out and have them part of our database. Yeah. Aki, would you like to share anything? No. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, you want to share? No. No. All right. Let's see. The front table here. Uncle Roland, do you have any thoughts?
Not really. Not anything beyond what's already been said.
Not anything beyond. Okay. All right. John Sagani?
Yeah, 2 days ago, I think everything is why I thought about why. I remember a couple of years when I worked in the South region, I saw in our directory in Northern Virginia, it's over 600 people. I'm a person who received the database from the headquarters I set up. And then I was so shocked. I mean, what? Just over 600 people? And then where are they right now? Of course, and a lot of things going on and spread out here and there. And also, Yokoyama-san and I, 2 days ago on Friday, we visited Mauricio and Elfie's house. It's Winchester. It's a little bit far, but we had a wonderful time because both we share about why people don't come to church anymore. The first reason, lack of love. Even some people don't come by health issue or family issue, so many things. I mean, I know everybody love each other. I know we all unification, especially, we have a special heart and special ancestor. That's I felt long time. Very special ancestor we have. Spiritually, we are so clear. And we have something different antenna than others. So if a signal is here and there, we have a ability to catch and feel what it is. That's why we joined in this movement. But somehow the whole kind of a variety, all different kind of direction, this and that, different system, And we're a little bit burned out, honestly. So many different ways. So, the Yokoyama-san and I, and not only us, several people, we need to reconnect each other. That is the key we can bring the revival spirit. So a little bit, we love to reach out the people as much as we can. And and then Marcio and then Elfie also, they're amazing, wonderful brother, sister. And they're moved a little bit far away. And also Marcio's is CPA all the time, especially Texas season, totally crazy. Not that, only that reason, he loves people to talk, but actually it's not easy to share person to person somehow. So we all agreed, and then, good thing is that he invited us to everybody come over to have a Sunday service in his house. Even I think those kind of a special some event sometimes, personal house, if someone has a little bit spacey, even with the sleeping bags, and then we can create something more stick together. And then Roland and I and Judy and Kazuo, we had a silver diner breakfast, brunch sometimes, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That is, I really miss that. Even though Judy is not here, Kazuo and I, we talk about, let's do again, with the Roland. Those kind of, the kind of connect traditional, created a new tradition and kind of really communicate, care each other. My goal is not really big. I'm not honestly not interested to go out to do witnessing. Just my dream is, why don't we bring back to our, previous, lovely whole, our brother, sisters reconnect and really care each other. And then we talk about the third gen is the second gen is how much they are so precious, important. But I'm evaluating by myself how much I dedicate the time and energy, everything for the third gen. That is, I'm kind of, criticized even by myself. So, I felt, that's why today I went to third, Chirui, how she, rounded that she's amazing. Chirui, how she deal with all children. Yeah, she's really professional. I learned a lot. And I a little bit realized personally, I love to be in the third floor and be with them, and then support physically, not only say word. So love is not word. It's not, it's not the noun actually. Not only, the love is a verb. So we need to, really act, what we feel. And then we're going to bring back to a little bit better atmosphere, probably.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. I feel like love sums up your message, right? It's like we want to feel love and love in action, right? Exactly. And, I've been hearing from some of you, and I think, it would be great to have community-driven, right, like small group-driven things, like when you were visiting family in Winchester, because we are quite spread out in Northern Virginia, right? So that's part of the reality that, it's easier for some families to gather together, right, and be more active in those kind of local home church kind of settings. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all. Cosro's 22 acres. Okay. Yeah.
Everybody come. Everybody, of course, the house is not big at all, but we could camp.
We could camp there. We could make a camping. Okay.
It's a how a little bit far, 4 hours. Reverend Patrick and I.
It's still in Virginia. but yeah, right? Yeah, yeah. Close to North Carolina. Mm. Mm. We could do a summer camp. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Well, yeah, thank you everybody for sharing. I didn't want to keep it too long because I did say 45 minutes. Did anybody else feel like they didn't get to share yet or write anything down that they wanted to? Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Last point.
As I and Mrs. Moon visited Mauricio, he told me the past history of our church in Colombia. And when he joined, a lot of Spanish members joined. But somehow the leader at that time misused kind of Spanish member, let them paint for free and, let them serve to church. Serving is not good, but they didn't really understand divine principle, but they just forced free labor. And many Spanish members left. But if we take care of a Spanish member, we can have a lot of Spanish members, he said. So actually, I have a Spanish contact, and if we expand, the witnessing, we can have like Korean people have a 2 o'clock service somewhere in members' house, but we can have a service, Spanish service, 2 o'clock. If they want to, they join English service here, and once a month Spanish service. We can create. Or we have a Mongolian member today, new, and Zaya-san is here. I have a Mongolian contact, and Eggy's family is attending Washington, D.C. church right now. But if they move from Washington Times, they are seeking build a church in Maryland. So Maryland is too far, so Eggy should come back to Virginia. And Mongolian, we can have Mongolian service too. So that way, like an ethnic group, we can witness, and we can have an ethnic service once a month. So they can join our service, and they have their own service once a month. That kind of idea.
Interesting. Okay, we can have. Yeah, we are international, so we could have multiple ethnic services. Richard, did we get any comments online? Any ideas? You didn't see any in the chat. Okay. Okay, they stayed silent. No worries. Okay, so thank you, Tsurue, for helping to write down some ideas that were now shared. Let's give her a hand. Thank you. And also congratulate her. I never, asked her actually, but I knew she was graduating. She actually graduated already a couple of weeks ago, May 16, from university. So congratulations. Yeah, she is indeed a wonderful Sunday school teacher and professional with children, really. So thank you. So we are going to try to break this down into a couple of different sentences because I want vision statements, okay, like a clear statement, and then some of the points that were mentioned, obviously very practical things that we can do, right? Like things in action, right? Things we can put into action. But yeah, we will have a main statement and then action steps we can take that reflect our vision, okay? So. Yes, and mission statement, that's right. Right, goals and objectives, that's right, exactly. So you could set out different parts, yeah. I wanted to keep it simple and just do one overall statement to make it easy for people to remember, like, oh, this is Nova Church, what are you all about? And then just say one sentence, we're a loving community, blah, 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 I don't know. So we'll come up with a great sentence, or AI will come up with it, using our ideas, and we'll present them on another week, and then we can vote on which sentence we like the best. yeah, it's got to be something clear and easy that we can easily say to people, right, to introduce ourselves. So thank you so much for staying on longer today, participating and giving your ideas. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.